Good morning and thanks for joining us for our news updates at 10. Here with me, Tandi Wemzumara. Pope Francis on Wednesday sent a message to participants in Vatican Conference on Resilience and Climate Change, urging all nations to work together to reduce carbon emissions and help people adapt to climate change. Sending his greetings to their participants, the Holy Father encouraged their efforts to discuss the environmental crisis, noting that the world is facing the twin challenges of lessening climate risks by reducing emissions and of assisting and enabling people to adapt to progressively worsening changes to the climate. He added to say that these challenges require everyone to come up with a multi-dimensional approach to protect people and the planet. Deputy Minister of Health Enoch Pale has reiterated government's commitment to scale up nutrition interventions in the country. Making the remarks in Salima during an inspection tour of nutrition interventions under the Afikepo project in the area of Senior Chief Kombeza, Pale said nutrition is a major component of the country's development. Therefore, district councils should have a special funding on nutrition to implement different activities that will further improve nutrition statuses of communities whose people are able to participate in development activities. According to the Deputy Minister, solely depending on donor funding deters continuity in interventions after projects phase out, hence need to trickle down funding at district level for continuity. Chief Resident Magistrate Madalito Shimaza yesterday ruled in favor of former Minister of Finance Joseph Mwanamveka, who applied to have the state amend his charge sheet. Mwanamveka was challenging his first count of abuse of office, which its particulars stated that him and Nalito Kabambe, who is the former Reserve Bank governor in the year 2019, abused their offices by procuring officers in the Financial Markets Department of RBM to falsify gross liability and net reserve base returns calculated to the IMF. In the application, Mwanamveka wanted the state to amend the charge sheet to include the officials he influenced and when exactly did that happen, and in her ruling, Chimaza ruled in favor of Mwanamveka, saying the state has to include the officers and exact time the influencing took place. The court has since given the state 14 days to file an amended charge sheet. In sports, the semi-finals list is complete at the 2022 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup in South Africa. Mozambique became the last team to sail through to the semis after booting out hosts and defending champions South Africa through post-match penalties. Guests Senegal also booked a place in the semis via post-match penalties after a 1-1 draw against Eswatini. The teams joined Zambia, who made it to the semis on Tuesday after seeing off Botswana in post-match penalties as well. Namibia are the only side to make it to the semis through open play after defeating Madagascar 2-0. Meanwhile, losing quarterfinalists will clash in plate section. And in international news, Ghana's inflation hit 29.8% in June, the highest since December 2003. The country's statistics office says surging food and commodity prices are responsible for the spike. The government has now turned to the International Monetary Fund (IMF) for a bailout plan expected to be worth $1.5 billion, and if granted, this will be the 17th time the country borrows from the IMF since independence in 1957. Ghana's total debt is estimated to be more than two-thirds of its revenue, and an increase in its debt profile could harm future generations and scare investors. And that's about what we had time for in this edition of our news updates at 10. But do stay tuned to Luntha TV for more news updates coming your way. My name is Tandi Wemzumara. Goodbye for now.